Okay, this is lesson 10.5. This is on page 556. These are the do now problems. All right, pause your video, try these on your own, and come back and check them with me. All right, this is number 3. Cassandra wants to solve the equation 30 equals 2/5 p. What operation should she perform to isolate the variable? So you could do that part in 2 steps. Remember, I want you to remember 2 things. So I want you to remember that, here, let me rewrite it so I can make sure everybody can see it nice and big. We have 2/5 p. If we wanted to get rid of that fraction, we could multiply both sides by 5. And you'd start by multiplying both sides by 5 to get rid of that denominator. And then we could divide both sides by 2. So you could do it in 2 steps like that. Or whenever you have a fraction and it's your coefficient of your variable, remember that's being multiplied times the p. So in order to divide by 2/5, you would take the inverse operation. Like you take the inverse of the second one, because remember, dividing fractions is easy as pie. Flip or take the inverse of the second and multiply. So if we want to just multiply by 5/2 on both sides, that would cancel out these 5s and it would cancel out these 2s. So let's do that. So it gets that over there all in one step. 5/2 times 30. And this side it cancels, so you're just left with p on that side. And you remember that you would take your number here and multiply times the number on the top. So 30 times 5 is 150/2 equals p. 150 divided by 2. So I'm going to go off to the side and do that. And I would get 75. 75 is what p is equal to. Okay, number 4. Ginger makes pies and sells them for $14 each. Write an equation that represents this situation. If y represents the money that Ginger earns and x represents the number of pies sold. So Ginger makes pies and sells them for $14 each. And each, y is the money and x is the number of pies. So we take our $14 each pie, and x represents the number of pies. So 14 times x is going to equal y, the money that Ginger earns. So 14x equals y. Okay, number 5. What is the equation for the graph shown below? Okay, so let's look for some x and y variables. Now, the slope-intercept form, well, actually, we can just let's take all the points and make some ordered pairs. I think that would be the easiest way to teach this to you. So 2 to 4. Then we have 0, 0. We have -2, -4. So let's look at what we are multiplying our x coordinate by. So here, x and y, 2 times 2 is 4. So if we would have multiplied 2 times x, that would have given us 4. Let's try this one. 0 times 2 is 0. That would work by multiplying by 2. Let's try this one. A -2 times 2 is a -4, because remember, a negative times a positive equals a negative. So that could work. So 2 times x will give us our y coordinate. So here is an equation for this graph. That was probably a tough one for you guys. All right, number 6. Caesar made a rectangular banner that is 4 feet by 3 feet. Let's draw it. 4 by 3 feet. He wants to make a triangular banner that has the same area as the other banner. The triangular banner will have a base of 4 feet, what should its height be? So first, to find the area of this, because we want to know the area in order to get the areas to be equal, right? So area of a rectangle is length times width. So 4 times 3. So this is the area, would be 12 feet squared. So we want a triangular banner that is also 12 feet squared. And so I need to figure out, how do I find the area of a triangle? And I remember that the area of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base times the height of the triangle. So here we would have the area being our 12 feet, 12 equals 1/2 times the base, which does it tell us in the problem about the base? Let's look back. It says it'll have a base of 4 feet. So times the base times the height. And it is asking us what the height should be. So we don't actually know our height yet. So we're going to times by the h. That is the variable we need to solve for. Okay, so let's combine like terms here. 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. So we have 2h left on this side equals 12. And remember, I want to get my height all by itself. So these are being multiplied. The inverse operation is to divide by 2. And we will do height equals 12 divided by 2 is 6 feet. So the height there would be 6 feet. Again, that might have been a little difficult for you because I know we didn't get to all of the geometry yet that I wish we would have gotten to. But I think it's important that you had a chance to watch that and work through it with me. At least you're getting to see it for the first time if you haven't seen it before. Okay, you may start your lesson for 10.5.